Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njeru. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a man on board, the man must be looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. But because today we have a man, I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker show. We help men and women to get matches, and the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost. If you're new to the show, kindly subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook at Jenga Njeru. You follow me on Facebook because we post the contacts of our guests on my page, and you can check on the stories. They usually expire in 24 hours, so you can get there and you will be getting updates in real time. Our guest on today's show is a man who has a problem, but it is not like a problem to most people. At the age of 57, you could be asking yourself why the man is single and what kind of a woman he is looking for. Now, Mr. Julius is a single man, aged 57, and single. He is single for the last 12 years. Now, on this show, you have noticed, if you've been an ardent follower, that we do not discriminate people whether they are rich or poor, black or white, green, black or gray. Anybody deserves an opportunity. We do not discriminate against people. We give them a fair trial, a fair hearing, because our work here is not just to matchmake. Our work is to give people an opportunity to interact and date whoever they want. That is why everybody who has been brought on the show, out of the 600 families that have been connected here, all of them people connected out of goodwill, like nimependa huyo, nimependa huyo. Somebody's calling me. Minute, I'll be calling back. Now, this is the deal. Mr. Julius is a single man and kwao ni Nyeri County, kama mnasikianga Mukurweini. Na it is very painful when one has a sexual disorder, because you see, for 12 years staying single is not something that you want to, sio kitu ya kufurahia sana. Kukaa single sio kitu ati unasikia ati umefurahia sana. Most people are not happy being single if it is not celibacy. If you have not decided to choose like religion, ama if you have not decided that you're going to serve God in the confines of singlehood, what we call celibacy, then you don't want to remain single. Maybe you have not gotten the kind of person you want, or you have not gotten a person at all. Are we together? So Mr. Julius is having a sexual disorder. And it happens that in most cases, men who have sexual disorders, let's talk of impotence, erectile dysfunction, PE, I mean, all these disorders are not something you can go publishing. You don't go telling people, oh, I have this and that. Some of them are caused by lifestyle diseases, others are caused by age. Some of them, there are so many predisposing factors. For Mr. Julius, it's an accident because he's a businessman. He happened to be involved in an accident. He was married, but the wife left. I fail to understand why, when people get into a problem and they were married, the spouse is quick to run away, especially if the problem cannot be solved. This man was involved in an accident. That part was affected badly, and I don't want to say it was amputated, but it was, and it was a bad accident. So the man is looking forward to get a companion, somebody who is willing to stay with him, somebody who is not going to cheat, because you see, a person who has a problem cannot be taken advantage of, especially basing on that problem. It will be more painful to cheat a man who is incapable sexually than a man who is sexually capable, because he can get it elsewhere. He can divorce you and get somebody else. He can get another person. But a man who is incapable, or even a woman who is incapable, owing to the fact that the reason for cheating them is that they are not able, can lead to frustration, depression, stress, anxiety, and many others. So he is looking for a woman who is faithful, a woman who is going to understand all the clinical tests, every x-ray he has gone through, every MRI, everything that he has gone through in terms of a test, everything that is related to medication has always been documented for future reference and for prescription. So anybody who wants to see the records, what happened to him and why he has a problem, will always get an opportunity to see that. The man is doing well in business. I told you that it is not easy to find somebody who is not doing well on all fronts. Even before he had an accident, he was still doing fine, and he is doing the import business. Yeye ni watu ambao wanaleta, unaona hawa Woria wako Eastleigh. Ukienda pale Garissa Eastleigh, kuna malls mingi sana za viatu, kuna malls za nguo mpya, suti. Watu wakitaka suti wanaenda pale, nguo mpya, viatu mpya, you see jeans, t-shirts new, wachana na mtumba, mpya, belts, jewelry, ornaments, kila kitu ukitaka Eastleigh unapata. Sasa yeye analetanga hizo mizigo, he brings them into the country, then he can distribute to small scale traders and wholesale traders because he brings them in bulk. He has been doing this business for more than 30 years because he came to Nairobi a very young man. In fact, this is a man who has a very beautiful story. We have been talking and he has gained the courage. If the man has gotten the courage now, it reaches a point where you realize nobody is coming to save you and you decide to save yourself. So Mr. Julius, I'm not mentioning the other name because he might be subject to scrutiny, subject to investigation by people who, people know when you are single. Because one thing leads to another, you are not interested. And I don't know how people are able to tell a man who is single, but it is usually hard to say or to tell when a woman is single. In fact, most women struggle because they are so beautiful, and even men sometimes get intimidated and they're like, siwe uko na mtu na pengine hana, siwe umeolewa pengine hajaolewa. You get the difference. What I'm saying is, for him, people can tell that he is single, although he is doing very well. He has taken good care of himself and he is doing well in business. This man is living in Kabete, lakini kwao nyumbani ni Nyeri, upande wa Mukurweini. If you can be interested in this man, I am going to post his email address because an email address works better for them. The reason I'm saying this is because he asked me to share his email address. And the last guest I brought on the show, Mr. Frederick, was called by more than 2,000 women. I want you to understand this. 2,000 women. 2,000 women called him. Can you imagine? And all of them wanted to be his match because they thought he was ideal. There is nothing wrong with that. But for Mr. Julius, he's saying that he's a busy man and he's just looking for one woman. So it will be appropriate if he can share his email, and anybody who will be interested can email him and they can get in touch from there. And I am so excited because I am looking forward to start bringing the people who have now been matched on the show. So many of them wamesema, hey, hii sasa nimeona tutakanisha. Hii sasa nimeona inaweza, hii ina work. So expect a series of people who were on the show previously, and sasa tutakuwa previously on the Matchmaker show. We have so and so, we have so and so. How has been the experience? It's a beautiful thing, by the way. Watching that 600 families have been matched. I feel so good. I feel so proud of myself, by the way. Sometimes I tap myself and I'm like, yes, it's a good thing. It's beautiful. I believe in families. And that's why I began this show. This show began February, March this year. And we are still doing fine. I know there are still more land to be conquered. But so far, so good. If you're a follower of this show, and I didn't specify, if he's 57, he's looking for a woman who is 50 and above. Kindly, if you are not 50 and above, he will not be considering, because to him, he thinks that somebody who is younger will be having higher sexual drive. That is his argument. But the email is open. You can argue your case. You can talk to him. You can never tell. Sometimes people set the bar too high and then they lower it depending on the personality of the people who approached them. He said that a person who will be slightly younger is likely to have higher sexual drive, which will culminate to cheating, and that can be very hurtful to him. He doesn't want to be hurt. I'm so sure you are able to decode the fact that he cannot want to be cheated. he feels like it will be a bad idea, very bad idea, especially for him. He can fall into depression na hataki. Na huyu mwanamke ajue ya kwamba the man is ready to take care of him, to take care of her kids. And yeye alikuwa na mtoto mmoja na mtoto alienda na mama, kwa sababu mama alienda wakati alisikia jamaa ameumia. If you're there and you could be interested, get in touch. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. You know that. Until next time, this is Jenga Njeru. God bless you. Bye bye.